Let's talk about the training that happened on December 10th, the Tuesday. Let's get into it. So I've had a bit of a weird week this week. My brain has been scatterbrained because I'm moving out, as you know, moving out on Friday. So I'll be in my new place on Friday. Nanna's been admitted to hospital again, but she comes out on Friday as well. So it's just been an absolutely crazy week. So I wasn't able to get to training. What I was able to do though was I was able to get Jen to send me a bunch of training videos. So Jen, if you don't know her, on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Jen2310. She's Jen's Training Buzz on Instagram, so go give her a follow. She's there at every training session as well. Definitely for longer than I have been. She's been there for a couple of years, and she's just so good for the Collingwood community and what she films and what she tells us and all her write ups and stuff. So I got her to send me a bunch of videos, is what you'll be seeing throughout this video. The information that I'm going to give you is secondhand information from various reports that I've seen. So that's not from my eyes, except for the stuff that I've seen through Jen's videos. Anyway, let's get into it. So there were a handful of players that didn't train on Tuesday. So we know what happened to Mitchell, which is just so sad. We've already talked about that. Jamie Elliott trained inside. Josh Dacos trained inside as well. Smith wasn't there, but some of these guys did training inside. So pretty much besides those guys, it was a full was a full team, which is really nice. And we got to see Tommy McGuane train with the seniors as well. And he, by all accounts, and from what I've seen and what I've heard, he's going to be exciting. He's going to be exciting in 2026. We obviously pick him up at the end of 2025. So in that draft, so that's going to be really, really exciting. Now we'll skip over. Now, with all the drills and all the conditioning and all the fundamentals, nothing really changed from what we've seen these last few weeks. So how long has it been? 4 or 5 weeks now, probably about 5 weeks. So nothing's really changed. Everyone is looking as sharp as they can be at this stage. And that's what you want to see, right? That's what you want to see from these players. What we've come here for, and what you've probably come here for, is the match simulation that happened right at the end. Now, the teams will split up into the black singlet team, the white singlet team. The white singlet team did win with a 55-meter bomb right at the death by Jack Crisp that sailed through the middle to give the white team the win. So Crispy pushing forward a little bit, kicking those goals, and we love a Jack Crisp long bomb, and we're going to see that a lot, especially with Dan Houston, because he is just known for those long bombs. Also, a little side note, I think I'm going to stop calling them long bombs. I want to call them something else. If you got another name for them, I don't know why. I just don't want to. No, I don't know why. I kind of know why, but I just want to not call them long bombs anymore. So a long punt from 50 meters or 55 meters, I think that's what I'm going to start calling them. Let me know your thoughts down below if you have another name for those quote unquote long bombs from 50. So a couple of players that stood out to some of the reporters and some of the people that were watching the game. Reef McInnes, I know we talk about him every single time, but he deserves to be talked about every single time. Reef has just adapted to his new role like no one else that I've ever seen before. And I know, in the comment section, people say, "Oh, we've talked about Reef every single preseason. He's always going to have a good season. This and that, X, Y, Z." But this is a new role for him, and really, he shouldn't have picked it up as well as he had. And he has picked it up. What's the saying? Like a duck to water. So like they just know, like a lion in the Sahara. They just know what to do, and Reef just knows what to do. And Braden Maynard came out and said that he probably needed the football ahead of him to see everything that's sort of coming out instead of as a forward. So now he can sort of dictate that play. I think he's got round zero spot sewn up. I think he's going to be in front of Charlie Dean at this stage. I think he's going to be in front of Billy Frampton at this stage. Frampton will play when we need a big body defender, so like on a Mackay and a Kerner or something like that, probably. But Reef is that guy now, and I am just so ecstatic to see him just blossom into this defender, into this Nathan Murphy defender. Speaking of Nathan Murphy, and one guy we haven't seen a lot of because of his fracture to his hand, Cochrane. Cochrane is going to be that Nathan Murphy type as well. I've heard that he's been taken under Murphy's wing. So be keen on that, because I think out of all our forwards, barring any sort of injuries to, all our draftees, barring sort of any injuries to forwards, Cochrane could be the guy that debuts this season. And I think it's going to be it's going to be between Reef and Cochrane. Reef will play, the first few, yeah, whatever it may be. But I think Cochrane, with that speed, with that closing speed, coming off a half back line as well, learning off Darcy, learning off Nathan Murphy, learning, off Jeremy Howe, I think it's going to be immense for him when he starts getting ball in hand because of that injury. So after the new year, we'll see what Cochrane can really do, because right now he's just building his running capacity, and this boy can run. Remember, he won the 2K time trials at the combine. A couple of other tidbits was that Patrick Lipinski was running through the middle and on the wing as well. He's looking at getting more inside football. Now, remember that, we don't know what Mitchell's going to be looking like. We don't know what Geordie's going to be looking like. So they're two midfielders at the moment who probably won't play round zero. We don't really know the extent, especially with Geordie. It's kind of just a waiting game because he's training inside. There seems to be no problem, but they're probably just giving him a little bit of a rest until the new year starts. So there are maybe possibly a couple of spots up for grabs. Lipper wants one of those spots. He has been training as a half forward as well. Another guy that really impressed, and you're going to hit me across the head for it again, is Finn McRae. Now, McRae, Ed Allen, and Reef McInnes are all in the same boat, as in, let's have really good preseasons, and everyone watches and they go, oh my god, they've had really, really good preseason. They're gonna explode. They're gonna explode, and they just don't get there, especially Finn and especially Reef. But Reef, you put a tick next to his name, he's definitely going to get there. The question mark for me is Finn McRae, but apparently, according to people that watched and the reports, is that Finn absolutely flew through in that. During that practice match or match sim, whatever you want to call it, the black versus the white team. Apparently, was his best training session for the year as well. So that's really good to see. But again, it's just about converting a really good preseason and really good VFL form into the AFL. And I know Finn's position as that inside mid that he really wants to play, there's a lot of players that can play that in our team. So you are relying on injuries. But once you get into the mindset that, oh, we're relying on injuries because even though we're having a good side, we need injuries to help us get into the team. That's a losing mindset in my eyes. You need to be like, oh, side bottom, whatever it is, side bottom's got that wing position. I'm gonna be better than side bottom at training. I'm gonna be better than side bottom at the VFL, and I'll go ahead of him in the senior side. I think that's what Finn needs to do. A couple of other players that seemed to stand out was Darcy Cameron. He was in the extended All-Australian squad. So people know of his capabilities now. We know of his capabilities for a while. The thing I love about Darcy Cameron is that, yes, he's a good ruckman, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that when he drops back into the defense to help out Darcy Moore or help out the defenders, he can take a really good grab. We probably don't need him up forward as much. So if he can be that sort of guy that does drop back and does stand in the hole to help those, those big kicks up there, and he does take a really nice mark, a settling mark, that's what we're going to be needing him a lot for. Lockie Schultz, Tim Membry were apparently did really well as well. Schultz needs a big year. Membry is going to be an interesting one. Does he play around zero? Is it just Membry and Cox that are going up against that one spot? So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you picking Membry or are you picking Cox? But anyway, guys, that's just been a roundup of the train that happened a couple of days ago. Sorry it took me so long to get this video out to you, but leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers, I'll swoop you later.